Last week, we asked the question, does the church have a future and a hope? Not just the ethereal, outside of our minds, ideas of future and of hope. So say, of course, I hope something comes to pass or some sort of magical thinking, but a tangible lived expression. And we found as we sat in that conversation that we had to do two things. We had to name honestly where we come from, the pains and the good, because whatever the future is, it can't be just a repetition of the past. It must be a new incarnation, something that can respond to the multiplicity of humanities we see around us as the Imago Dei, the image of God. And so we leaned into that a little bit to say, what would it look like to be able to create a community and a system that is informed about its past, both its virtues and its vice, but looking forward with anticipation to new ways to structure and to recognize the image of God in those around us, whether they reflect our way of thinking or not. For myself, what really stood out to me was that with most people in the conversation, even though half of us actually carry some wounds from our past, say that there is a hope if we construct it, that it won't happen passively, it won't happen by accident, but if we're willing to risk and start moving towards what we say is the good and beautiful, that more hopeful way of being, that there is a hope, not for the church as it's come through history, but there's a hope for the church as it could be if we all put our hands to the task of saying that we can create a more generous, a more open, and a more loving and affirming community together with representation and respect for all. Now, if you've been with us for a bit, then you'll know Thursday mornings is a time that we get to practice some of this generous orthodoxy. We meet on Zoom at 9:30 to do some of our slow cooker spirituality, where we sit in a verse throughout the week, and it's just one passage. So we read about one paragraph every day through the week so that when we come together Thursday morning, it comes from the depth of sitting in this one story so that we can reflect on it together. And we come and we answer head, heart, and hands questions. And we share, so we get to experience what it's like to hear each other say, this is what I hear God saying, or this is how the text moved me. And it's that lived wrestling that we get expanded by each other's visions. Because I'm both blessed and cursed by my experience. I can only see as far as I've been trained to see. It's with the addition of each other's voices and insights that we get to become more human. Speaking of, we have a town hall meeting this last Monday. And the next one is to be announced for the day. We're looking at a few to see what works for everyone, where we're getting to talk about what does it look like for FOS, our church in particular, to have a future, and what kind of future is that going to be. So if you're interested in being able to have voice and to shape what the future will look like, if you're interested in participating in the building of it, join us. It'll be announced on fos.church. And also for any other information, if you're wanting to know more just about what we stand for, what we're doing, or if you're part of the community already and you forgot what we're doing, then www.fos.church will have all the information.